Coming up, new details emerge in the killing of 3 University of Virginia football players. We have the latest. Some Lexington utility costs might double in the next few years. We'll tell you what to expect and why. Buena Vista businesses have a new source of help to grow. Learn what the Virginia Innovation Accelerator hopes to accomplish. As winter approaches, weather anchor Chaz Chappell has your 5-day forecast. And listen to the sweet sounds of a new opportunity for Rockbridge area music lovers with developmental disabilities. All that and more coming up on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Avalon Purnell.
And I'm Victoria Ernst.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that she will not seek a leadership position in the new Congress. Pelosi led House Democrats for nearly 20 years. She said she would remain in Congress as the representative from San Francisco. This comes after Democrats lost control of the House to Republicans in the midterm elections. Many Republicans expected a sweeping victory and received what could be a narrow margin of control instead. Some in the GOP blame former President Donald Trump. He backed some candidates who denied the 2020 election results and often struggled during the general election campaign. Trump announced his 3rd White House bid on Tuesday. The University of Virginia student accused in the fatal shootings of 3 football players made his first court appearance. Christopher Jones Jr. is accused of shooting 5 students on a charter bus after they returned from a field trip Sunday. Jones appeared before a judge yesterday, and UVA has requested that Virginia's Attorney General start an outside investigation of UVA's shooting response. Caroline Colburn has the details.
Chris Jones Jr. will remain behind bars at the Charlottesville-Albemarle Regional Jail, and he will be represented by a public defender until he's able to hire his own attorney. This morning, we also learned the name of the 5th shooting victim, UVA student Marley Morgan.
We are all grieving and saddened and devastated by these events in our community.
New details in court Wednesday morning reveal Chris Jones Jr., the man accused of shooting and killing 3 UVA football players and injuring 2 other students, targeted the victims.
Very, very challenging and difficult case.
Outside of the courtroom, Albemarle County Commonwealth's attorney Jim Hindley shared a message for the families of the 5 students shot on the way home from a class field trip Sunday night.
All of us in this community care for the victims' families and wish for the speedy recovery of those who are being treated at the hospital.
Hindley also revealed a witness who was on that bus told investigators that Jones shot 3rd-year wide receiver Devin Chandler while he was sleeping.
But I can assure you that the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office has been working very closely with all the police agencies that have been involved in this case.
The 22-year-old suspect who worked at the Charlottesville Boys and Girls Club currently faces 3 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of malicious wounding, and 5 counts of use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Prosecutors also recited Jones's criminal history. He was arrested for a misdemeanor concealed weapons charge in Chesterfield County in February of 2021. In June of this year, he was convicted and given a 12-month suspended sentence. He was also convicted in October of 2021 of a hit and run with property damage and reckless driving in Petersburg that occurred in 2020. He also received a suspended sentence.
It is our important concern that this defendant have a fair trial.
Chris Jones Jr.'s next hearing is scheduled for December 8th.
Virginia Military Institute is in the midst of installing $13 million worth of updated security. VMI police are focused on the installation of rising metal barriers that can keep vehicles from entering the post. Steph Chicalori reports.
VMI is the only school in Virginia that will soon have $13 million worth of security to protect its campus. VMI Chief of Police Michael Marshall said in an interview with WSLS News as part of a project called Solutionaries. The upgrade is part of a comprehensive strategic plan at VMI called Vision 2039. Former Superintendent of VMI, General J.H. Binford P. III, launched 36-year plan in 2003. The Virginia Tech shooting in 2007 triggered VMI administrators and police to factor security into the plan. Experts came and assessed campus vulnerabilities and then made recommendations. Marshall told WSLS reporters that staying proactive is key to protecting cadets. Currently, VMI officials are focused on installing rising metal barriers at entrances of the campus. These will prevent vehicles from driving through roads on campus during specific times of day when cadets line up in formation and during emergency scenarios. Cadets can even call for these barriers to go up while they are on guard. Going on guard requires patrolling barracks to ensure campus safety and using the intercom system, which anyone on campus can hear, including the police. Cadets claim administrators have failed to make them aware of the protection they receive from the police, even though they directly help the police protect themselves.
VMI did not tell us directly that they were going to put $13 million into new security systems. The only way cadets really found out was through reading little snippets of Vision 2039, and then we also found out through the news.
These cadets wish administrators would keep them in the loop better.
I feel like it would probably help put a lot more people at ease if they knew the type of training they're receiving, like what they're doing to like proactively protect us.
Anything to ensure further safety of student body is like of the utmost importance because, you know, like we pay to go there.
I'm here in front of the police building at VMI and an entrance behind me that will soon include added metal barriers. Other upgrades will include additional emergency safety buttons around campus, new cameras, and improvements to the intercom system. In Lexington, Steph Chigalori for the Rockbridge Report.
Cadets remained anonymous during interviews to prevent them from facing any repercussions from faculty or fellow cadets. Chief of Police Michael Marshall was unfortunately unable to accommodate an interview. In the past 4 years, the cost of water and sewer services in Lexington has nearly doubled. A member of Lexington City Council is warning residents that utility rates will likely double again. A massive water treatment plant project is in its early stages. Shauna Muckle reports.
The Maury Service Authority operates water and wastewater treatment plants serving Lexington and Rockbridge County. For the last few years, Councilmember Charles Allagood said the MSA has operated in crisis mode.
The pumps are so old, it's difficult to get repair parts for them.
The water treatment plant needs its pumps replaced, among other big-ticket fixes. The project has an estimated price tag of $20 million. MSA Director Jordan Combs.
We've got to start building these facilities for the future generations or they won't be here.
The city and Rockbridge County share costs roughly 50-50 for the water treatment plant. Both will have to increase utility rates to accommodate debt for this project. Allagood said he expects rates will at least double over the next 4 years.
The city and the county don't really have that much of a say because the plant has to operate.
Lexington City Manager said the city will also consider raising general taxes next year to help fund the project.
I'll say the words that people don't like to hear. It may be a tax increase depending on the scope of the project.
While the estimated project cost is $20 million, Allagood said the area is facing a contractor shortage. As a result, the price tag could look more like $30 or $40 million. Members of the MSA were hopeful they could fund as much as half of the project through a state grant program, but their application was rejected. Alongside the water treatment project, the MSA also needs to revamp its wastewater treatment plant. Early engineering estimates put the cost of that project at $40 million, which could drive utility bills higher. Construction on the water treatment plant won't begin until 2 years from now, but utility rate hikes and potential tax increases could start in July 2023. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Shauna Muckle.
Next on the Rockbridge Report, Washington and Lee's plans to block off Robert E. Lee's statue in University Chapel were rejected by the Building Commission. Find out what could happen next.
It's gotten progressively chillier these past few days, but will that trend continue into next week? My predictions coming up.
The UniVista organization is making a home for startups, using over $1.8 million in grants. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Victoria Ernst.
And I'm Avalon Purnell. Washington and Lee University's plans to construct a wall obscuring Robert E. Lee's statue in University Chapel hit another roadblock this week. Lexington and Buena Vista's Building Commission shot down design plans for the wall. Members of the commission and the building inspector said the wall would block off an exit and violate fire safety regulations. Washington and Lee now has 3 weeks to appeal the ruling to the state. Check out Shauna Muckle's full story at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Rockbridge County Public Schools are set to receive $4 million in funding for recovery after the pandemic. The division is asking for public comment on how to spend the money. To submit a comment, visit the RCPS website and fill out the online form by November 22nd.
An organization created to bring new businesses to Buena Vista is thinking big, 40,000 square feet big. That's the size of the mixed-use space the Virginia Innovation Accelerator is renovating to eventually house several businesses that focus on agriculture. Carly Snyder is live on the scene.
I'm standing in front of the Virginia Innovation Accelerator building, which was previously a cigarette paper manufacturing facility. Now the building is under renovation to house up to 20 startup businesses. The Virginia Innovation Accelerator, formerly named the Virginia Innovation Collective, is bringing business to Buena Vista. In the past 12 months, the Virginia Innovation Accelerator has received $1.8 million in grants. This money will be used to develop the property that sits on 7 acres between the Maury River and downtown Buena Vista.
I founded the Advancement Foundation in 2007. We found a lot of communities had been decimated by economic issues.
In March of this year, Buena Vista defaulted on a $9 million loan, which resulted in the closure of the city's golf course.
A lot of communities, especially smaller communities, had really ambitious goals, but then it was hard to really get projects off the ground. And so the Advancement Foundation really kind of found our niche in working to encourage business development.
Currently, the accelerator has 7 companies working in the center and is renovating the building to accommodate them. One renovation will include the development of a commercial kitchen and food lab. But that isn't all the Advancement Foundation has to offer.
We started a business competition, a business program and competition called the Gauntlet, which is now Virginia's largest business program and competition.
The Gauntlet is an annual competition that connects entrepreneurs to the training, mentorship, and resources needed to grow their businesses. Some employees at the Virginia Innovation Accelerator got their start with the Gauntlet program and hope to help others do the same.
If it wasn't for the Gauntlet, I wouldn't have been able to stay afloat as long as I was.
Patterson said both the Gauntlet and Accelerator will connect entrepreneurs, but she doesn't want outreach to stop there.
I would love for students and faculty to get involved in this project. I think there could be some really interesting projects that would come out of it that would really change the narrative.
Patterson says she is hopeful renovations will be complete within the next 18 to 24 months. Reporting live from Buena Vista, I'm Carly Snyder.
The Career and Technical Education program at Rockbridge County High School will have a renovated home in fall of 2024. The Floyd S. K. Career and Technical Education Center is set to receive a $7.7 million facelift beginning in May. Renovation plans include an updated electrical system, new equipment, and a new center for community involvement. You can read the rest of Lily Mott's story at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Immense snow will pummel New York and other regions near the Great Lakes. Weather anchor Chaz Chappell says they're talking about snow measured in feet, not inches. He'll have our Rockbridge area forecast too.
And Mackenzie Kane reports on Washington and Lee football's Senior Day, a bittersweet send-off for senior generals. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. Chaz Chappell has joined us to talk a little bit about the weather. It's gotten a lot colder.
It has, but I hear our neighbors to the north of us have already begun to get snow. Chaz, can we expect even colder weather for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be getting a little bit chillier in the Lexington area, but not any Buffalo's got right now. New York Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency today in parts of western New York ahead of a potentially dangerous bout of lake effect snow. The National Weather Service forecasts up to 4 feet of snow or more through Sunday. The hardest hit communities, including Buffalo, could experience periods of near zero visibility. The state of emergency covers 11 counties. The snowfall may be the most intense between 7 p.m. tonight and 7 p.m. Friday. The Weather Service also warned of accumulations of 2 feet or more of lake effect snow in parts of northern Michigan through Sunday. Virginia shouldn't get snow in the next few days, but it certainly will get a little bit chillier. Let's take a look at that weather. Moving over to this live shot here in Buena Vista, the Buena Vista Mountains. Let's get into the forecast. First up, our current conditions. Today we are experiencing a high of 40 degrees and a low of 28 degrees with the barometric pressure settling in at 29 degrees, wind speed at 16 miles per hour, and humidity at 51%. Taking a look at that radar, not much is happening, but what I will note about this lack of cloud cover is that clouds trap heat. So without anything to trap the heat, it's only going to get colder. Looking at our current conditions throughout the region, we can see here in Lexington, 40 degrees and partly cloudy. Down 10 minutes down the road in Buena Vista, same deal, 40 degrees, partly cloudy. Up the road in Stanton, 40 degrees, partly cloudy, same deal. A little bit different, sunny over in Charlottesville, 45 degrees and sunny. Down here in Lynchburg, 43 degrees and sunny. Moving over here to check out Covington and Roanoke. Covington at settling in at 36 degrees right now and partly cloudy, and Roanoke 40 degrees and partly cloudy. Taking a look at that 5-day forecast. It's sunny through the rest of this forecast, but temperatures are dropping. On Friday, a high of 45 degrees and a low of 28 degrees, sunny. On Saturday, a little bit cooler, a high of 44 degrees and a low of 24 degrees. Moving over to check out the rest of the forecast. On Sunday, sunny. With a high of 37 degrees and a low of 23 degrees. On Monday, a high of 48 degrees and a low of 19 degrees. And then just getting a little bit warmer there on Monday, or Tuesday, with a high of 53 degrees and a low of 26 degrees. Avalon and Vic, back to you.
Thanks, Chaz. Coming up, sports anchor Addie Grace Cook has your local scores.
And an inclusive musical event has taken shape in Rockbridge County. We'll be back with more.
Welcome back. Addie Grace is here to talk with us about local sports, including the Generals football season that just ended.
Yeah, WNL finished its last game in a heartbreaking loss in triple overtime. Do you have any more to tell us about that, Addie Grace?
Definitely. It was a really tough loss, tough last game for the Generals. The Washington and Lee football team fought through a tough last game on Senior Day. Mackenzie Kane was with its star running back at the end of his college career.
Good afternoon, Rockbridge. I am here on Washington and Lee's Wilson Field, where unfortunately the Generals football team has been defeated by their conference rival, Shenandoah University, in triple overtime. I'm here with senior running back Alex Wirtz. I know this was a hard game for the team. There was a bit of a slow start from the beginning, but you had a phenomenal performance with over 150 rush yards, a new career high for you. I know it's hard with this being your last game on Wilson Field, but how does it feel to go out with this performance?
You know, honestly, I can't be more thankful for this program, more thankful for the guys. They truly made it worth it. You know, last game coming up, all the seniors knew that, and we're all going to go out, and we all did go out, and we played with everything that we had, and, you know, unfortunately it wasn't enough, but that's the precedent for next year. Spark that energy for next year, spark that standard for next year, and we'll keep moving forward from there.
Thank you so much for your time, and signing off with the Rockbridge Report, I'm Mackenzie Kane.
3 Washington and Lee cross-country runners are headed for the championships. Carolyn Todd, Charles Scharf, and Kristen Klodgo are going to the NCAA championships in Michigan. WNL women's basketball trounced Eastern Mennonite 83-44 yesterday. Generals men's basketball scrapped out a win in overtime against Mary Baldwin University, 106-100 on Tuesday. And WNL men's soccer flattened Muhlenberg 5-2 on November 13th. Virginia Military Institute men's basketball failed to overcome Davidson in a 75-71 loss Sunday. And VMI Cadets football succumbed to Wofford 34-16 on Saturday. Southern Virginia University women's basketball lost to Shenandoah University 59-35 on Sunday, while SVU rugby pulled off a triumph on Sunday, beating Virginia Tech 33-12. And SVU Knights football lost to Brevard College 41-27, also on Sunday. For high school athletes, the fall season is over. The Rockbridge County High School Wildcats and the Perry McClure Fighting Blues athletes can rest heading into the holidays.
The Rockbridge Symphony Orchestra performed its first ever sensory-friendly concert last weekend at Lexington Presbyterian Church. An audience of autistic and developmentally disabled Virginians got to move around, fidget, and clap as the orchestra played. Our Adam Lombardi was there.
Rockbridge Area Community Services Director of Corporate Integrity Don Sherman approached the Rockbridge Symphony Orchestra with the idea of hosting a sensory-friendly concert after observing other symphonies do the same.
And it just, occurred to me, I was having such a great time listening to the music, and I just thought, you know what, it would be wonderful if, everyone could experience this.
Yiping Chen, the conductor of the Rockbridge Symphony Orchestra, said she was excited when Sherman first approached her with the idea.
I've always wanted to make symphonic music more inclusive and more inviting. So for any individual that wants to experience the symphony without, worrying about the rules, this was a place for them to be.
The venue also had a quiet room with a live stream of the performance for anyone that needed additional room to move about. Sensory-friendly concerts are a more recent development in the fine arts industry. The Virginia Symphony hosted its first sensory-friendly performance in 2019. Sherman hopes the orchestra and Rockbridge Area Community Services can continue creating sensory-friendly performances after Saturday's success.
People who wouldn't normally get to participate in an activity like this, being able to and having a great time. And so that was just really, really exciting to, be a part of, making that experience available to everyone.
Reporting from Lexington for the Rockbridge Report, I'm Adam Lamberti.
The Rockbridge Symphony Orchestra's next performance will be in March 2023.
That's all for the Rockbridge Report. We'll be back on Tuesday, November 29th for a live update at 3:30 p.m.
You can stay current with local news online at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Happy Thanksgiving!